What is going on, everybody? I'm doing something that I have wanted to do for a while now. I am doing a WrestleMania review series. So, it's basically where you review every single WrestleMania that has ever taken place. So of course I'm going to be reviewing WrestleManias 1 to 30. And yeah, I wanted to do this last year, but our internet went down for a few months, so I couldn't. It was down from about January till May, so I couldn't. So, but I am finally doing it, and guys, if I don't get through, if I don't get up to WrestleMania 30 by the time WrestleMania 31 comes up, I'm sorry, but I'll still finish it. But I just hope I'll get it done before WrestleMania 31 comes up. By the way, I am going to WrestleMania 31. This will be the first WrestleMania I've been to in 5 years, since 26. So yeah, I'm going to WrestleMania 31. But anyway, so yeah, of course I'm reviewing WrestleMania 1 today. This happened in 1985. This was the first one ever, of course. This was back in a time when wrestling, to be honest, was actually a lot more simple. And what I mean by that is there wasn't as much moves and stuff, and guys didn't use weapons all the time or do crazy stunts and shit. And back then, a wrestler could just do a crossbody off the top rope and the crowd would go nuts. So yeah, wrestling back then was different and it was simple and it was more simple. So yeah, so I'm not used to this kind of style because I was born in 1996, so you're not gonna get any 80s wrestling expertise here. So yeah, but for the first WrestleMania ever, wrestling wise, it was average, mediocre, but it was such a great spectacle, and it had a lot of great stuff outside of the wrestling that just was awesome. So let's just get into the card. You had the first WrestleMania match ever was Tito Santana versus the Executioner. This was fine, I guess. Didn't care for it too much. I like Tito Santana. I've heard of the Executioner, but I don't know who he is. So yeah, this was the first WrestleMania match in history. I guess an alright way to start off the first ever WrestleMania. Tito Santana wins with, I think, the 54 leg lock, and the Executioner quits. Because back then there wasn't a tap out rule, but yeah, so he just quit verbally. Then we got King Kong Bundy versus Special Delivery Jones. This match lasted about 15 seconds. They were saying it lasted 9, but I think it was longer than that. But yeah, this is one of the shortest matches in WrestleMania history. So yeah, just a squash match. Nothing to it really. Nothing to it at all. Then we got Matt Bourne, aka Doink the Clown, versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Again, nothing really here. Like I said, I'm not used to this style of wrestling. Well, I'm not used to this because this is from the 80s, and like I said, wrestling back then was more simple compared to today. So yeah, if for most of the matches I say they weren't really that good, it's only because I wasn't there at this point in time in wrestling, because like I said, I was born in 96, so so that's why I'm not really used to this. But this one was okay. I thought it was okay. I gave it 2 stars. 2 stars, 2 1/4, something like that. Ricky Steamboat wins, I think, with a crossbody off the top rope, I believe. I think so. By the way, one thing I did like about this WrestleMania is that they before every single match almost every single match they interviewed the wrestlers that would be in the matches. I think the only matches they didn't do that for I think the only match they didn't do that for was the main event, I think, and I think maybe the Body Slam challenge. So yeah, but I like that part, and I thought most of the interviews were fine. Brutus Beefcake versus David Sammartino. I didn't like this match at all. David, the son of the legendary Bruno. Sorry, I didn't think he was very impressive at all in this match. And the ending, it just ended in chaos. And David gets thrown to the outside, and I forgot who it was. Whoever Brutus's manager was, attacked him, and then Bruno started attacking him too, and then all four just started fighting in the ring. So then the referee just called it off and ended in a double disqualification. So basically, really no winner here, and yeah, the match wasn't good at all. I didn't care for it. Then we got Greg Valentine versus Junkyard Dog for the Intercontinental Championship, the first title match in the history of WrestleMania. I thought this was fine, I guess. It was okay. Junkyard Dog. I like his character, and Greg Valentine was a good wrestler, and I thought it was fine for what it was for the first title match in WrestleMania history. Junkyard Dog wins by countout, so Greg Valentine, of course, retained the title. So, yeah. By the way, sorry I keep looking away. I'm looking at the notes I took for this show. Then we got the U.S. Express, Mike Rotundo and Barry Windham versus the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff for the WWF World Tag Team titles. This was okay. I thought this was wrestling-wise, this was the second best match of the night, I thought. So yeah, I actually thought it was okay. It was decent, I thought. It wasn't slow or anything. It was kind of fast-paced. And, Nikolai Volkoff and Iron Sheik, they got real heel heat. You want to talk about getting heel heat? Look at Sheik and Volkoff back then. They got real heel heat on them. Pretty much everyone hated them. So yeah, the Iron Sheik and Nikolai Volkoff win after the Iron Sheik hits, I think, Barry Windham with Freddie Blassie's cane. And then they win the tag titles. Okay match. I give it 2 1/4 stars, 2.5, about 2.5. The $15,000 body slam challenge, Andre the Giant versus Big John Studd. Of course, Andre the Giant, he's a legend. The story was, if Andre the Giant had lost, he would have to retire. If Big John Studd lost, he would have to give away $15,000 of his own money, and they have it in this bag, and Bobby Heenan was with Big John Studd. Now, don't give me shit for what I'm about to say, because like I said, I was not able to watch wrestling back then because I wasn't even born yet. But to be honest, I thought this match was boring. And it's just kind of weird. They're seeing if Andre the Giant can body slam Big John Studd. Andre the Giant weighs 500 fucking pounds. Of course he can body slam him. John Cena could. So, of course he could body slam him. But yeah, it was not really a challenge. It was more of a match. Well, I think it was a match either way, but match-wise, I thought it was slow. I thought it was boring. It was historic. I'll give it that. It was historic for, what happened. But I just didn't enjoy it. I'm sorry. Andre the Giant body slams Big John Studd, wins, and starts throwing money into the crowd. I liked that. So yeah, Andre the Giant's a legend. And, yeah. But I just didn't like it as a match. I'm sorry. I wouldn't grade this. I'd just give it an NA. Then we got Wendi Richter versus Leilani Kai for the WWF Women's Championship. Oh my god. Um, I'm just gonna skip this because it was bad. Yet Wendi Richter had Cyndi Lauper with her with the whole rockin' wrestling connection, which I thought that was cool. And by the way, Vince McMahon, he was a genius for what he did with the show, the whole rockin' wrestling connection thing, and stuff that he did at the early WrestleManias to show that he was a genius. For stuff like that. So yeah, Cyndi Lauper, I guess it was cool seeing her here, but this match was just terrible. Wendi Richter wins. Then, the first ever main event in the history of WrestleMania. Hulk Hogan and Mr. T versus Roddy Piper and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff, and Muhammad Ali and Pat Patterson were the special guest referees. Wrestling-wise, I thought this was the best match on the show. I actually thought it was a good match. And Mr. T, he looked good in this match. This is one of the times when a celebrity was in a match in the WWE, and it worked. It actually worked. You know? And not like this whole Snooki thing at WrestleMania 27. I mean, I didn't think she did a terrible job, but still, I just thought she shouldn't have been in the match. Or Floyd Mayweather versus The Big Show. I thought that match was disappointing. I didn't think it was god-awful or anything, but I just thought it was disappointing. But you know, this is one of the times when they used a celebrity at WrestleMania. Right! They used it right here. Mr. T, he didn't look clunky at all. He looked good. He actually looked like he could wrestle. And all four guys did good. Hogan did good. Orndorff, Piper, all of them did good. You had Bob Orton and on ringside with Piper and Orndorff, and Jimmy Snuka at ringside with Hogan and Mr. T. And you know, and there was actually a lot of like celebrities at this show. You know, which showed back then WrestleMania, like WrestleMania was just a big spectacle. It was a big spectacle. I mean, it is today, but you don't really see like there's not. I guess a shit ton of celebrities still do go to them, but back then it was just like almost every celebrity went. But I don't know. I guess that's just me, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, like I said, a good match. I thought it was the best on the show. I'd give it like 3 stars, 3 1/4. Hogan, Mr. T win after Cowboy Bob Orton accidentally hits Paul Orndorff in the side of the head with his cast. So yeah, good match. Afterwards, Orndorff was like going crazy. He was trying to like punch people because he didn't know where he was. He didn't know what happened to him. You know, after Mr. T was trying to check on him and stuff. So yeah, that was WrestleMania 1. Yeah, like I said, wrestling wise, the show was not good. Wrestling wise, I'd give it like a 4 or wrestling wise, I'd give it like a 4 or 3.5. But you take in the entertainment aspect and all the celebrities that were there, you know, like Muhammad Ali, Cyndi Lauper, people like that, and just how big of a spectacle this was and how this really started off WrestleMania. I'll give it extra points for that. So I'd give the show probably a 6 out of 10, about a 6. Again, not for the wrestling. Most of it is for like the entertainment aspect and stuff, but some of it's for the wrestling. But yeah. So yeah, 6 out of 10. I thought this show was fine. So yeah. Thank you guys for watching. I will do my WrestleMania 2 review at some point later this week. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you later.